So as I said, it's a prohibited transaction to transact between or for the benefit of the disqualified party, but it's fine to transact along with one. Bless you. So when we're looking at, can I go out and buy a property along with my plan? Yes, I can. And as I said, your traditional IRA and your Roth IRA, disqualified parties, one another. You can combine those. Spouses, if I've got people come in and they're in their 20s, we're probably going to do 2 different accounts, 2 different checkbook IRAs for them because they're contributing money over a number of years, and we've got to have that flexibility to allow them to make those contributions. If we're talking about somebody comes in that's my age, we're probably going to do one. We're going to do one checkbook IRA, and we'll have the 2 different accounts, maybe the spouses each have an IRA, and we'll have both those IRAs as members of a common LLC. So the benefit of that is you've got one entity, not multiple. The downside is, as soon as we've funded that investment, the investment in the LLC, that entity should be static. You shouldn't be adding funds from either disqualified party in the future. So if we're looking at joint ownership of something, if we're creating a limited liability company, it's got a group of us in there, and maybe you've got planned money and personal money in there, what we want to do is overfund that investment into that LLC so that if there's a downfall, some shortfall in money, something, anybody in the room that's had income properties know that once in a while you have some unforeseen expense. Well, how do you address that? How do you cover it? And that's why we want to see, and that's why the banks want to see some reserves in those accounts for that rainy day you hope never comes. All right. So any questions on that? You can buy along with the disqualified party, and the choice of doing it is either via membership in an LLC or tenancy in common. And each of those structures has ups and downs to it.
Could you recapitalize if you did the same percentage? So if you had...
Our position is you probably should not, but will it get done with the custodians? Yes. And there's arguments that that it would be fine. So the issue, and what he's asking is, let's say we put a limited liability company together, and it's got 2 disqualified members. We fund that thing, and as I said, we probably want to put additional money into it just in case. If we know that money is coming in, let's say you say, okay, hey, we're putting it together now, but we're a couple months from 2018, and we want to be able to make 2018's contribution too, so we're going to have an additional chunk of money, or maybe I've got something else that's paying off, I've got some other investment that's going to mature, and I know I want to put this additional money into the LLC too, but it's not there today. What we can do is have the additional money come in with a note. So that note would just pay off, get paid off, and the funds would come in offsetting it, and that might take 6 months or whatever it is. So we wouldn't have to have all the money initially at inception. We could have it come in later if it's via that structure. Got that? So the initial funding is fine of these LLCs because that LLC is not a disqualified party until it's populated. As soon as it's populated by these disqualified parties in a transaction between that entity and any other entity that's a disqualified party, that's what we're concerned about. So additional investments in the LLC, you're issuing additional membership interest if you've got more in, and that's where we see it sort of as an issue. But custodians we use regularly will make that investment, and we've had conversations with them, and they don't really see it as a problem. So I think it's one of those things where it's not a problem until it is a problem, and we're just going to look at it and be conservative.